वो है ना Namaste, sir.
Hello, good
Hello.
afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, we will
Am I
start
audible?
this session. Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I'll just on the camera. खाना जरा पका लो.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Am I, yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Am I audible? Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. You are audible. Can you? Gulshan को पुकार कौन है? Shravani, where is Seema?
Yes, ma'am.
5 minutes are remaining, no?
Hello.
Gulshan. Good afternoon, Sangeeta ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
So,
I not come.
thank you very much, sir and madam, for sparing your valuable time. Actually, it's very good that we will have a lecture from both of you after a long time.
After a long time, and I'm happy you're putting blue.
Yeah. Madam's favorite color. That's why.
Good afternoon, sir.
Rajiv sir.
Fawad.
Power sir.
It's good that you have separated. Right, right. We are too happy, and it's rather very. Yeah.
मेरा वीडियो दिख रहा है ध्यान रखना
Good afternoon.
Hello. Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
We can start the session. I think the time is okay.
A very good afternoon, all. Myself, Dr. Seema Yadav, PG Scholar of Shalakya Tantra Department of NIA, Jaipur. Welcome you all once again. Today, in continuity with yesterday's webinar, I would like to move on to our second session of our national webinar on the occasion of 5th Ayurveda Day, organized by PG Department of Shalakya Tantra, NIA Jaipur, on the theme A Practical Approach in Shalakya Disorders. Please pay attention. Viewers, due to some technical error, our Facebook link is not opening. Please connect on YouTube. Today, our speaker, Honorable Respected Dr. Rajesh Pamar sir, founder and director of Nimi Eye Care Treatment and Research in Ayurveda, and respected Professor Sangeeta Salvi ma'am, HOD, Tilak Ayurved Mahavidyalaya Pune, will be giving us a feast of knowledge. So, moving onwards with our speakers, I would like to share brief intro of Honorable Dr. Rajesh Pamar sir, founder and director of Nimi Eye Care Treatment and Research in Ayurveda. Sir has completed BAMS in the year 1982 from University of Pune and completed MD in the year 1986 from University of Pune. Sir was also active member in various professional membership like member of Eye Bank Association of India, Avenue Chairman, Avoidable Blindness. Sir has performed 850 surgeries and screened 10,000 patients. Sir has been honored with many awards like Karya Bhushan Award 2008, Sahibram Satyavati Madam Award 2009, Limca Book of Records 2010, 132 squint surgeries.
इसमें
Sir
connect कर
received
देना.
Elegant Shalakya Award on the occasion of 9th National and 1st International Conference 2015. Sir has performed more than 90,000 eye surgeries. Sir has performed more than 1,000 eye transplants and recently launched Nimi Eye Care Treatment and Research in Ayurveda, a super specialty eye care center in Ayurveda on 22 October 2016. Today, here sir is amongst us and going to enrich our knowledge with various techniques in corneal grafting. I would like to welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir. Please proceed, sir. Please, sir.
Is there any problem? Power, sir? Can you hear me? I think sir's call is disconnected. It is not showing here. Yeah.
Sir, please proceed. Please, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Am I audible now?
You're audible, sir. You can start your presentation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just sharing the screen. At the outset, let me thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to present the work which anybody can do rather. And uh, actually, this corneal transplant and corneal grafting, I presented it in many conferences. But to inspire the I usually take this opportunity. New is there, and yes, I'm sharing the screen now. I just want to thank the director, sir, Sharma, sir, and Professor Shamsa Fiaz, madam, for inviting me here for this presentation. Can you see the screen?
No, sir. We can't see.
Hello.
Hello. It's not visible, sir.
It is not seen.
No, sir. No, it is not seen. Just share your slides, sir. There are three buttons. You have to click that. Then you can start sharing.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
I don't see my screen here. Is it visible?
So there's a side button you are presenting, no? Just you click that and you start presenting, sir. Just share your slides.
Yes. Right. Yeah,
Is there any problem, sir, now?
I think the screen is now has started sharing, and
But
soon
it's
it
not
will show
visible
that
here, sir.
it will ask me to operate another button. It's not yet visible. No?
No, sir. I think you have to.
Yes, now it will take some lagging. Can you see now? I think it is not seen.
No, sir.
No, it is not sharing. I think. Yes, madam. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I'll just send it. Meanwhile, you can proceed with. No, meanwhile, you can go ahead with Salvi madam. Please, I'll send it across mail now. Okay.
I think sir has some problem. So we will start with the second lecture of Professor Sangeeta madam, and this we will start after madam's lecture. Is it okay, madam? Sangeeta madam, can you start your presentation now? And I request Dr.
Is it
Seema.
okay?
Yeah, and I request Dr. Seema to start madam's this thing, introduction and biodata, brief biodata.
Moving onwards with our next speaker, I would like to share brief intro of respected Professor Sangeeta Salvi ma'am, HOD of Shalakya Tantra at Tilak Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Pune. Madam has completed BA/MS in 1991 from Pune University and MS Shalakya Tantra in 2000. Now, Madam is working as professor and HOD, Department of Shalakya Tantra at Tilak Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Pune. Madam has performed more than 5,000 surgeries in ENT with special field of interest in ear surgeries. Madam has guided many research works. Madam has been honored with many awards like Best Paper Award, Best Teacher Award, Legend Salaki Award given by Association of Salaki in 2017 in Sri Lanka. Madam has organized many conferences on Salakya Tantra. Madam is presently working on writing a book on Salakya Tantra. Today here, ma'am is amongst us. Ma'am is going to present on the topic surgical approach in ear disorders. So over to you, ma'am. Please proceed, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Is the screen visible, madam? I have already shared.
It is visible, madam. You can start your slideshow.
It is not visible to me, so I'll just.
showing you are presenting to everyone like that.
ये मैडम आप ब्राउजर जो आपका
Is
जो
it
ब्राउजर
visible, madam?
मैडम अपना ब्राउजर तो आप जो डाउन कर लीजिए और जो प्रेजेंटेशन आप दिखा रहे हो उसको आप स्क्रीन पे ओपन कर लीजिए, तब वो आएगा।
अभी मैंने उस पे किया है, लेकिन आपको दिख रहा है क्या? बिकॉज आई एम नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग।
नहीं मैडम अभी दिखाई नहीं पड़ रहा है। आप जो अपना जो पीपीटी है उसको ओपन कर लीजिए, पीपीटी को ओपन कर लीजिए आप।
पीपीटी मैंने ओपन किया है।
अभी स्क्रीन पे आपका जो ये ब्राउजर है इसको तो डाउन कर लीजिए, पीपीटी ओपन कर लीजिए स्क्रीन पे,
कौन
तब वो
सा? ये वाला?
जी मैडम, पीपीटी को ओपन कर लीजिए स्क्रीन पे।
स्क्रीन पे ओपन किया है, अभी दिख रहा है?
नहीं अभी नहीं दिख रहा।
To start sharing.
नहीं
आई डिड दैट।
एक्चुअल में मैं दोबारा इसको स्टॉप शेयरिंग करके
अच्छा,
और
स्टॉप
आप
कर।
जी हाँ, और नीचे जो प्रेजेंट नाउ है उस पर आप क्लिक करें, प्रेजेंट नाउ पे, उसके बाद में आएगा योर एंटायर स्क्रीन, उस पर क्लिक कीजिए और फिर आगे शेयर पे क्लिक कीजिए और फिर आप अपना पीपीटी ओपन कर लीजिएगा स्क्रीन पे, प्रेजेंट नाउ। फिर उसके बाद में जो 3 ऑप्शन आएंगे उसमें योर एंटायर स्क्रीन, उस पर क्लिक करना है और फिर शेयर पे ऊपर जो शेयर आएगा स्क्रीन आएगी, शेयर पे क्लिक क्लिक करके और पीपीटी को ओपन कर लीजिएगा फिर स्क्रीन पे।
नहीं, शेयर इज नॉट गेटिंग क्लिक्ड।
उस पर क्लिक कीजिए, स्क्रीन पे क्लिक कीजिए, तब शेयर जो हाईलाइट हो जाएगा, फिर आप शेयर पे क्लिक कर देना।
योर एंटायर स्क्रीन आ गया है।
जी हाँ, एंटर स्क्रीन पे क्लिक कीजिए,
किया,
उसके
उस
बाद
पे
में आप स्क्रीन आएगी शेयर योर एंटर स्क्रीन, उस पर क्लिक करके स्क्रीन पे और फिर शेयर पे कर देना क्लिक।
शेयर पे क्लिक नहीं हो रहा है, वो ब्लॉक्ड है।
नहीं मैडम, वो ऊपर जो पिक्चर आ रही है ना उस पर क्लिक कीजिए, ये इस पे पिक्चर पे क्लिक कीजिए, तब वो शेयर हाईलाइट होगा।
कौन से पिक्चर पे?
ये जो सामने आ रहा है ना शेयर योर एंटायर स्क्रीन, इस पे क्लिक कीजिए पहले तो, एक बार क्लिक करेंगे तब शेयर।
वो उस पे कुछ नहीं हो रहा है। मैं क्लिक कर रही हूँ, लेकिन इट्स नॉट गेटिंग क्लिक्ड। It's not getting clicked, sir.
Madam, can you send the PPT to the email ID? I will forward it to you so that.
There are many videos in that. I don't know whether all the videos will come.
Just you have any student? They will help you.
madam. I went to entire. लेकिन शेयर बटन इज नॉट।
आप दोबारा ज्वाइन किए हैं मैम।
अच्छा, ओके। अभी दिख रहा है? हेलो, इज इट विजिबल?
No, madam, it's not visible. Actually, we have to share it.
The present now, then your entire screen a window or a tab. So should I try for the window?
Yes, window. Yeah, madam. In that window, your PPT will open.
Ma'am, share a screen. Share a
Now is
screen.
it?
to them.
हाँ राइट अब ओपन हो रहा है मैम
Share a screen.
शेयर द स्क्रीन कर दी
मैं अभी शेयर करी.
Yeah.
So is it visible?
No, no, no.
पीपीटी को स्क्रीन पे
Go to your presentation.
मैडम अभी आ रहा है? Madam, is it coming there?
No.
योगेश जरा कोणाला कंटे शेअर होत नाहीये.
Hello. Boलो. See, there's a present button down here. If you click on it, a window, then you click on the PowerPoint presentation, then share.
Madam, is it okay? Hello? Madam, are you able to open now? Otherwise, can you send the mail to me? Or I have sent the this thing IT email ID. Just send the mail to that. If सीमा सर का मेल आईडी आ गया क्या? सर का पावर पॉइंट आ गया मेल पे?
जी मैम.
सर का कर लेंगे फिर मैडम तब तक भेज देंगे. ठीक है, सर का ओपन कर लो. पावर सर, हेलो. Hello? Let me just call him.
मैम राजेश पवार सर का आ गया.
Hello, Power sir? Rajesh Power sir? Sony. Start your presentation. Madam will send the slides, so next we'll start with madams. Sorry for the inconvenience. I think sir will start the presentation. So Seema, start the slides, slideshow.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Dr. Rajesh sir's PPT is available. We can start with sir's PPT. Please proceed, sir.
Seema, have you started the slides? Seema?
Ma'am, there is some technical issue.
Power sir, the presentation what you have sent is not complete. Only one video is coming. That's it. So I think you have to resend the presentation.
I think in a minute it will upload there. Madam, I have sent that presentation.
Just check the presentation sir has sent. Hello, Seema.
Not yet, ma'am.
Actually, sir, it's very easy. If you see here, you can see the 3 buttons here, no? Here, just click on those buttons. Here you'll get an option present now. So you have to present, you have to click the window. Then you will have your PPT. Then you have to just share it. It's very simple, sir. PPT should be open on your laptop. Then only you have to. It's very easy. Like, see? You're getting the option here, present now. So here you will get a window. Just press that. Then you will have your PPT here. Just press your PPT. Then
Present now.
share. It's very easy. Yes, sir. It's opening. National Institute.
Okay, Dr. Rajesh, sir's PPT is available. We can start with sir's
Share
PPT.
now. is
Please
the
proceed,
option,
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You can start your presentation. Can you hear me, sir? You can start your presentation.
Is it seen?
Yeah. Seema,
Oh,
Seema, can you share those slides?
yeah. I think the screen is not yet visible. Yeah. It is appearing now.
Okay, sir. Start.
Right.
Hello.
The screen is not yet visible.
Rajesh, sir, please proceed. Please, sir.
Is the PPT seen on your
Sir,
screen,
please
madam?
proceed.
Hello.
Dr. Rajesh, sir, PPT is available. We can start start with sir's PPT. Please proceed, sir.
Sir, your PPT is visible on the screen, so you can start your
Yeah, yeah.
presentation.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah, should. Oh, yeah,
If
yeah.
you
Right,
want,
right,
you can
right,
take
right.
the same.
Okay.
Next
I'm
slide.
very sorry for the. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience caused here because of this technical problem. I'll just go through. I'll just tell you that in three stages, I will take you to the journey of this keratoplasty. Initially, what is meant by keratoplasty and what's the importance, how it functions, and the importance of eye banking and uh, the actual result of keratoplasties and which technique is to be used in which patient. In these three stages, I will just describe it. To start with, I just want to I just want to dedicate this presentation and all my corneal work till the date in the memory of Deshabandhu Dr. F. G. Hudson Silva, the great person. He is from Sri Lanka. I was fortunate to have him for our Janakalyan Eye Bank inauguration in January 1991. My sincere tribute to this great personality in the world. He is the man who moved whole world community and provoked them for an eye donation. Because of his dedication and wholehearted support from Sri Lankan people, the Sri Lanka has become the topmost country in the world, known for its highest eye donations and most exports of the eyes all over the planet Earth. So, a very small country that is coming up with the eye donation. You can see here the central, see this photograph, the central person. Center one is the Dr. Silva. He is from Sri Lanka. The corneal grafting to all those who have donated eyes so that others might have gift of sight. The corneal grafting is not a total eye replacement. In Indian mythology, 220 years before, in 1789, Almost Queensay conceived this idea of corneal grafting. The Powers performed first auto-transplantation 100 years later. Padma Shri Dr. R.P. Dhanda from Indore is the pioneer person in corneal grafting in India, and the first graft in India was performed in 1960. He is the person on left side, he is the Dr. R.P. Dhanda, and to other side, Madam Vasundhara Kalewar. In the year 1987, I was fortunate to have observed his corneal grafting at his precious hands and at Indore, and the basics of keratoplasty, as well as the advances of keratoplasty, including lamellar corneal grafting and other things. I learnt it from Dr. Vasundhara Kalewar Madam at Choitram Hospital, Indore. Now, to whom this corneal grafting is indicated, the central corneal opacity with normal intraocular structure is the main criteria for the selection of the patients. What are the causes for this corneal blindness? It is the second most common cause of blindness in India. 15 to 20% of corneal diseases leading to corneal opacity, as compared to cataract, which is 70%. The incidence of cataract is 70%, and 15 to 20% is the corneal blind persons. The both blindnesses are reversible with surgery. The only difference is in cataract surgery, only two persons are required. One is the surgeon and other is the patient. They both of them come together and they can decide the date and time for surgery. But in corneal grafting, there is a very important third person, which is called as the donor. So donor is an important factor in this corneal grafting. The causes for this corneal blindness are smallpox, trachoma, infectious eye diseases, there is keratomalacia. Nowadays, it is very rarely seen. Then injuries, various vegetative or any industrial injuries. Congenital corneal opacities can also occur, and the most upcoming cause which is there, that is the iatrogenic. Most of the training centers, those who are there for the teaching of the students, learning the students, they uh, they destroy the corneal structure, endothelium, and that is leading to a corneal blindness. There are certain diseases, commonest diseases causing corneal opacities, that is viral keratitis, trachoma, smallpox, perforating injuries, fungal corneal ulcers, exophthalmos, exanthematous diseases, vitamin A deficiency, then nowadays tracheal injuries, traffic accidents, herpes simplex, then sports injuries, vegetative injuries in farmers, industrial injuries, domestic injuries, and again hydrogenesis. The corneal grafting, all corneal diseases can lead to healing by fibrosis, that is leading to a permanent corneal opacity, resulting into a corneal blindness. And the only answer is corneal grafting. The corneal blindness incidence, it is more than 50 lakh people in India are corneally blind. There are only 500 eye banks, very few are functioning. Corneal surgeons are only 1500. The number of corneal grafting surgeries done every year is only, here I mentioned it 10,000, but nowadays it is 12 to 15,000 per year. Any ordinary eye surgeon can do cataract surgery anywhere with minimum facilities. For example, we can see the surgeries performed in eye camps. But the corneal grafting is carried out only where the eye bank is attached. What is an eye bank? It is unlike commercial bank. Donated eyes are collected, stored, harvested, and transported to a corneal surgeon. Eye bank works at three levels: eye collection center, the inoculation of eyes, transport to nearest eye bank with following information, that is donor's name, age, cause of death, and the date time, inoculation date, then time, dispatch, and the dispatch time and date. Eye bank where eyes are processed, stored, and transported, where evaluation of the donor cornea is done. And the third level, eye bank laboratories, where the corneoscleral buttons are preserved in culture medium, tissue typing of donor cornea is done, and research in improving the donor corneal quality. So these are the three levels of functioning of eye banks. The functions of the eye bank: to attend eye donation cause for inoculation, transport of eyes to a 4 degree centigrade temperature, then processing the eyes, evaluation of the cornea, corneoscleral button excision, then research to send the buttons for research, motivation of people for eye donation, and educate the people on this humanitarian aspect. What donation of eyes can do, no amount of charity by money can achieve. Who can donate eyes? Anybody, full-term birth person can donate the eyes, and upper age limit up to any higher age. So practically any person can donate the eyes. Who cannot donate the eyes? It is very important factor. The death by unknown cause, the death by central nervous system disease with viral infection, various encephalitis, septicemia, hepatitis, rabies, intrinsic eye disease, lymphoblastic leukemia, Hodgkin's disease, a cancer involving all body, then AIDS disease, and the recent cause, the corona infection. The possible contraindications: multiple sclerosis, Parkinsonism, jaundice, diabetes, syphilis, and previous intraocular surgery. To keep the eye donation movement in action, we are encouraging any kind of eye donation where we send these eyes for research. The donor selection is very important as there is a fear of transmission of donor disease to a recipient. That's why the donor history is very important. The donor selection and quality control in eye banking are of critical importance to the success of keratoplasty. Tissue removal, that is procurement, enucleation, that is a complete surgical removal of the eyeball using sterile technique, transportation of the tissue, corneal scleral button removal, and transfer to the storage medium. The tissue storage, it is in two stages, maybe wet globe storage, that is the moist chamber at 4 degrees centigrade temperature. A corneoscleral button can be stored in a media, that is short-term MK media. Up to 4 days you can store that corneal button. The intermediate term, that is Kesol or Optisol, up to 7 days you can store. The organ culture, you can store it up to 15 days. And cryopreservation, that is in nitrous oxide, you can preserve the cornea up to 90 days. These are some recipients to whom you can see that we can perform this corneal grafting. These are the needy patients. You can see the central corneal opacity or almost total corneal opacity. This is another patient. The slit lamp evaluation of the patient, that really gives us the idea up to what layer this opacity is. Nowadays, we do have anterior OCT where we can perform the corneal scanning and can come to know up to which layer this disease was there and the extent of corneal opacity, and depending upon that we can decide up to which layer to dissect the cornea and to transplant the donor cornea. You can perform this lamellar keratoplasty at various levels as far as the layers of the cornea are concerned. This is the removal of the diseased cornea. This is total removed, and this is the placement of the donor cornea, and this is a sutured donor cornea to a recipient. So this is called as a total corneal transplant or the corneal grafting. These are few patients with various types of suturing methods to carry out this corneal transplant. The newer techniques of corneal transplants are lamellar corneal grafting. Another is deep anterior lamellar corneal grafting, that is DALK. Then Descemet stripping endothelial corneal grafting, that is DSEK, DACK. These are the newer techniques where you can just replace the diseased layer from the donor cornea. And for that nowadays, very advanced laser machine, that is femtosecond laser, you can use to separate these layers. DALK, I do have a small clip. Do you have the clip available with you?
Seema, do you have the video of? Please open that video. Corneal transplantation video.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, yeah, please open it. Is it opening?
Okay, if it is not opening, then I think we can proceed further. I can show you the presentation. We'll just complete the presentation, and if it is opening, then we can again play it just 2-3 minutes video. Yeah, it is there. Uh, okay, this is a different method. It is for artificial cornea. You can play that. I will explain it.
Hello, play the video, or you can come to the slides only if the video is not playing.
Hello.
Hello, yes, sir. Shall we go to the slides, and in the end you can show
Okay,
the
we
videos?
can proceed with the presentation. Same
Okay.
presentation.
Seema,
We'll
start
show
with
you
the
the
presentation.
photographs.
We'll in the end we
Yeah,
can.
yeah. Right. Sure, madam. Go to the next slide. Yeah, after DALK. Next slide. Next slide. Next one. Yes. Uh, right. Now, in this case, you can see there are small central corneal opacity as a result of central corneal ulcer, infected corneal ulcer. And after giving the proper treatment, culture sensitivity and other things, the proper antibiotic, the healing by fibrosis occurred, and that resulted into this central corneal opacity, which has diminished this vision of the patient up to finger counting, right from 6-9 to finger counting. So the various options were thought of for this patient. The first option that was thought of is to go for phototherapeutic keratectomy with the help of excimer laser, and the thickness of the cornea was examined, which was very low. It is below 300. That's why this photo PTK treatment was not possible in this patient, but to go for the lamellar corneal grafting. On your on the other side, you can see the lamella has been separated, and the central corneal opacity central corneal opacity has been removed with the help of this lamellar separation. The next method, which I used it in 2000, this case was performed in the year 2007 for the first time in the history of corneal grafting. First time the biodegradable glue was used. The Reliance Life Sciences, they manufactured this glue for the purpose of some cardiac surgeries. That's the biodegradable glue, and that was used instead of using the suture in that patient. The next slide, you can see the removal of the lamellar graft from the donor eye, and the other side, that is the recipient bed. That is the recipient bed. And this donor graft, uh, the bioglue was applied on the either surfaces of the recipient and the donor graft. And the next slide, where you can see the graft is placed on the recipient, where the both surfaces are uh, applied with this glue. The in this particular surgery, to adhere the graft to the recipient cornea, that took hardly 15 to 20 seconds, and the spilled out glue was cut off. The spilled out glue was cut off, and later on you'll be surprised to see the post-op results of the patient. Next slide, please. This was the initial picture of the patient, and this is the most promising picture of the patient after few months of the grafting. You can see there is no corneal opacity left behind. The lamellar separation was good. The graft alignment is good. This might be the first of case of its kind. This is the most promising method for sutureless lamellar corneal grafting. It was performed in 2007, and to let you know that recently, few months before, I operated this patient for cataract after almost after 12, 13 years. So the graft is still maintained well, and it is uh, good functioning. There is no separation of the graft for last 13, 14 years. The next case I can show you where you do have a repeated graft failure. In corneal grafting, definitely many factors are there, that depending upon the endothelial cell count, donor graft endothelial cell count, or the recipient's any uh, T cell count, which is appearing after the first graft in the blood, T cells. These are the immune response cells. If that count is more, then the any graft that gets the failure, that again becomes opaque. For such patients, we can give a Boston keratoprosthesis, which is very costly, almost 35 to 40 lakh rupees are charged for that Boston artificial cornea. And recently, not recently, but last few years, the Arvinda Netralaya from Madurai, they have started manufacturing this assembly with the permission of Boston, and which is hardly available in few thousand rupees, hardly 5, 6 thousand rupees. So this is the patient which I want to show you. Go after video, K-Pro assembly video, go after that. You can see that on the right eye, the left eye underwent 3 times corneal grafting, and the right eye also underwent 3 times corneal grafting for this girl. The right eye was decided for this artificial corneal grafting, and that patient underwent this keratoprosthesis. This patient underwent keratoprosthesis, and The vision after keratoprosthesis is almost 6 by 12 part. So these are the few cases. I do have a decimal streaming endothelial keratoplasty video that was performed few years before for the endothelial insult after during cataract surgery. The patient came to Jan Kalyan Eye Bank and we decided for endothelial keratoplasty. If at all you can run the video, you can show that. And as far as presentation is concerned, I just wanted to conclude here. And these are the various stages where you can perform the corneal grafting and the various techniques, various layers. You can separate the cornea at depending upon the type of corneal involvement or the layer involvement. That's all. Let me thank organizer, and I'm very sorry that initially it was just a waste of time to share the screen. And if at all we have some time, we can go for video.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you very much, sir.
I think
Seema,
two
can you
videos
open
I
any
have
of those
sent.
videos? Videos, 2, 3
Is
videos
it
are there.
possible to show the video?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Seema, open the video.
Yes, ma'am.
It is just 2 or 3 minutes video. Yeah, it is. This video is for. Can you start the video?
Seema, start the video.
Yeah, this is the donor cornea, and we have created a small 3 millimeter opening this side of the donor cornea, and this is the tungsten ring which is fitted to a cylinder which is coming from other side of this cornea. This has got a lock. This is the photograph. In the presentation, we have a corneal graft failure. So we transplanted that girl with this artificial cornea. Yeah, this is for the artificial cornea transplant. Now is repeating and 2 or 3 minutes video.
Seema, any other video is there? You can.
Thank you so much, sir. We feel blessed by your speech. Moving onwards with our next speaker, I would like to request Professor Sangeeta Salvi ma'am to present on the topic surgical approach in ear disorders. So over to you, ma'am. Please proceed, ma'am.
Madam, can you please give me the permission because it's asking for a permission window. Okay.
Seema, ask the IT people to give
Ma'am,
permission.
share your
Yeah, it's open.
Jali? Madam, is it visible?
Yes, yes, madam. It is visible. You can start.
Sorry, I was so stressed up. Welcome to all the Shalakis, and I first thank the organizers for giving us a chance to present this. The last batsman is always, in a lot of stress. So let me try to share a few things which I have been doing for last 25 years. I know I'm very junior to the first presenter, Dr. Rajesh Pawar sir, who has taught me, and I was a student of him when I was in my UG classes. So with due respect to Pawar sir, I start my presentation. Uh, Let us share first of the few references of surgery which have come in our granthas because we are celebrating the Ayurveda day. I think it will be right to share some Ayurvedic references also. There are few references which I am trying to share, not all, because it will not be possible in a period of 1 hour. In Sushrut Sutrasthan 1, the 17th and 18th verses, the first reference of a first surgical procedure which has come in Sushruta is the Shirasandhan. So we Urdhva Pradesh treaters are very lucky that the first reference has come as far as the Urdhva Pradesh is concerned. And in the war between the gods and Asuras, the Yajna's head was separated from the neck and then later it was joined. So the first Sandhana Karma which has been explained in Sushruta comes from Shalakya Tantra reference. The second reference which I found was the reference of the first metal implant. Why did Shalya Tantra come into origin? Because Charak being the main person of Ayurveda, why was there a necessity for Shalya Tantra to come into picture? Shalya and Shalakya initially were one branch or one department, and later on they have been divided into two. In the earlier days, when there was a war between the Asuras and the Devas, there used to be a lot of cut injuries. There used to be a lot of cut body parts. And to treat these wounds, it was found that only medical line of treatment was not enough to give a full uh, curable part to the patients. Then it was thought that only conservative line is not uh, helpful. A second thing that there were some diseased conditions where removal of that body part was essential. Unless you remove that body part, the patient would not have survived or the patient would not have been free from his pains. And the third thing which I feel that there were some agantu objects which entered the body and which needed to be removed. Maybe these were the three things why Shalatantra came into origin. When you think of Shalya Tantra and when you read the Sushrut Samhita, it starts with the explanation of the Yantra Shastras. So Yantra was the first thing which was explained and then Shastra was explained. There are a few references which I found which I try to correlate with the modern Yantras. These were the few references which I got from the Yantras, and the main purpose of the Yantras was to remove the Shalya from the body. What all things should be kept in mind when you think of Shalya Tantra or when you think of making a surgical branch of your as your main part of your practice. You have to do a lot of hard work, you have to do a lot of devotion. So there is a lot of devotion and dedication which needs to develop your skills. The basic concepts have to be very, very clear. These few slides are for the PG students or the PhD scholars. A practical training is very, very essential for us to develop and to make ourselves perfect. Maybe when you start doing your surgical procedures, your perfection levels will be low, but as you go on practicing, your perfection levels will increase. So we have to go on practical training as far as possible, as much as possible during our student days. The next very important thing is you have to update yourself, upgrade yourself, because we know that many new things are coming. Last month there was a very big news which went very viral that there is another organ which has been found in the oral cavity, and it is most probably either a salivary gland or some lymph node which has been found, and hence we have to update our knowledge. We cannot sit back and say that this is the only limitations we have, so we should not learn the other sciences also. What things should be kept in practice. You have to keep your surgical skills alive. Till your hands are working, till your brains are working, you have to keep them alive. You just cannot say that now I'm 60 years old, so I will stop doing surgeries, because you'll be uh, you'll be making surgical branch a bit lazy if you stop doing your surgical practices. If you go on continuously doing on hands-on training and cadaveric dissection, that will be a very helpful thing to improve your surgical skills. A training and updating of the knowledge is equally important. You have to know how to handle the new technology or the new equipments. When we were students, the instruments were different. Now, when we are teaching, there is a lot of improvement in the technology. There is a lot of improvement in the instruments also. So we have to update ourselves. We have to regularly attend the clinical meets and the conferences. I found some basic concepts which I could correlate the yantras with the Shalakya Tantra yantras. This has been explained. I have taken the reference from Shigo Joshi's book of Shalakya Tantra. I found this Yoni Vikshen yantra, and then I found that there was a yantra which is similar, which is used in the ear surgery. This is a ear speculum, and the screw at that place helps you to open the speculum and you can widen the surgical area. So these references have been definitely taken from our granthas. The next yantra which I found was, maybe it is not related or it is not explained in Shalakya Tantra, but they are totally look alike. The next yantra is the Bhagandar yantra, which is open on one side. If you could see, this part is open. A similar yantra which we do is this speculum, which we use for stapedectomy surgeries. So I request all the students to kindly come up with new instruments, because the job is done by the modern people. The next 2-3 yantras is the Sarpa Fana Shalaka yantra. It is having a face like a cobra or the face of a snake. This is the instrument which we regularly use in tonsillectomies. That is the anti-repellar dissector and the tonsillar dissector. It is a blunt dissector. The second is the vectis, which we always used in removing foreign bodies or even in ophthalmic surgeries. The next yantra which I found was this, which looks very similar. They are all skin hooks. Initially, this instrument has used to be used as an anterior pillar retractor or as a knot tire, and the old ENT surgeons have been using this instrument to tie the bleeders during tonsillectomy. This is the Karna Shodhan Shalaka, which correlates with the mastoid curate which we use in mastectomy. The needles, we find they have a very similar explanation. These are the Ayurvedic references. These are the modern references. And when explaining the needles, they have been explained as Dhanushya Ban. Similarly, the round body, the cutting, and the straight needles have been explained in our granthas. I found a very nice instrument when I was going through, and I was trying to make some similarities between these instruments and modern instruments. This is the Khaja Yantra. This has been very alike like the mastoid burrs which we are using for mastectomy. The top parts has been used, and it is definitely very similar to the mastoid burrs which we have been using now. There used to be a box to keep the instruments. These are again the olden pictures, and this is the what we call as the stapedectomy book. These are the instruments which are kept in the stapedectomy box, and then it is covered. Hence, it is called as a stapedectomy book. Then, while making ourselves ready for the surgical procedures, this is a very important thing which we all should follow, is the Yogya Vidhi. This is a picture of the Yogya Vidhi where the students are having practices of incisions and drainage, achushan, and the suturing is also has been practiced on the Yogya Vidhi. These are the references of the Yogya Vidhis, and I found a very nice reference. If you do not practice your Yogya Vidhi, you will be like a bird without wings, or you will be like a chariot where one wheel is not working. So even if you have all the theoretical knowledge, and if you do not have the practical training, practical knowledge, the condition will be like this bird which cannot fly. These all are the references from Sushruta Samhita. Sushruta is supposed to be the main godfather of Shalya Chikitsa. See how they have been practicing themselves on the dead bodies and on the cadaveric dissections. So I request all the PG students who really want to go in the surgical field, we have to do all these surgical practices and cadaveric dissections. What all the ways are there that we can gain knowledge? The first most important thing is we have to read and respect the books. The books which have been written by the acharyas, the books which have been written by the modern people, they are the things which are going to teach you a lot. The second mode of gaining knowledge is by attending conferences, seminars, and trying to listen to what the gurus are teaching. The third is the practical dissection and the cadaveric dissection. This is a very nice slide which I always use is every student, every medical student has to have that urge to know what is hidden inside. So you should go deep in each and every anatomical structure and try to find out what all is there, because there are many hidden things still to be found out. This is learning from the gurus, going to the gurukuls and trying to gain knowledge. The last thing is you have to start writing, because unless you write and document yourself, maybe you will not be able to prove yourself. The last is Charak Samhita says that you have to have a very, very deep knowledge of anatomy and physiology if you want to become a successful surgeon. Right. तिथे येत आहे बंद झाला त्यांचंच बंद झालं आपल्याकडून बंद झालं
What happened?
I don't know, madam.
Okay.
Is the slide visible?
No, it's not visible. You can restart, I think. Same way.
Is it visible, madam?
Yes. Yes.
Ah.
It's visible
So
now.
this was the last method of knowing knowledge. Yesterday, after thinking a lot that how we could initiate the students to get knowledge is to do yoga karma in our departments. We tried one very nice thing yesterday is we got the covers of the boxes which are used to keep those bandages, and we covered it with a glove. We tore a glove and we tied it behind. We made a tympanic membrane out of it, and with this we try to find out how a grommet or how an incision can be taken. So Yogya Vidhi can be taken by the teachers in the department itself. This fourth picture is of if you can appreciate, there is a grommet in the anterior-inferior quadrant of this left tympanic membrane. So if you try to do Yogya Vidhi in a department, you can get the students get a feel of what the incision makes. These are the two infant feeding tubes, and we are going to make grommets of these infant feeding tubes, and this will initialize the eagerness in the students to develop their surgical skills. Then I'll try to show you an Yogya Vidhi of a trichloroacetic acid application when a patient has a very small tympanic membrane perforation. Let's see what we can do. It is a similar glove which we made. This is a small perforation. This is a pointer which is dipped in trichloroacetic acid, and the pointer is inserted through the tympanic membrane perforation, and we have to be very keen that it should not go more than 2 millimeters inside, because that is the marking of the miliar cavity. The second thing is we have tried to show a Yogya Vidhi of maryngotomy and grommet insertion. Again, this is very interesting because we get that feel when we punctured the tympanic membrane on this model. We could feel that the air had come out, because we could feel that the air had started coming out. So if the students can have this feeling, it will be easier for them to operate on patients. So this is an incision which has been taken by a maryngotome. Just wide the incision, place the grommet into the incision, then use a granulation forceps to place the grommet inside, it is a half-minute job. The grommet has been placed in the tympanic membrane. Now we'll see some actual surgical slides. This now we saw was a dummy. Now this is
Excuse me, ma'am.
Madam. Yes,
Ma'am, videos are not opening. Videos are not opening, madam.
videos are not opening. They are opening on the screen.
No, here it's not opening.
Okay, just let me know if they are not, if they're opening. Now are they opening?
No,
No.
it's not opening, madam.
Okay, I'll try to show them later on, because these were the things which which really would have helped the students to know what actually we do. This was a case of simple oroplasty, which we call as Karana Sandhan Vidhi. And these are the three types of Sandhan karmas which we can correlate with oroplasty. Again, this lady was a VIP lady, wife of a important person in our hospital, and she was having this oroplasty for the third time. So when you are operating an oroplasty for the third time, you have to be very careful in making the surgical steps very skillfully, because she already had a lot of fibrosis and lot of thickening on the nodule. And when the patient is again going to pierce the ear, we have to be very careful that the whole thing doesn't open. So oroplasty has been explained in our granthas like Nema Sandhanaka and Uppalya Bhedaka and Valluraka. I'll try to find if I can share the videos. I've got very good videos of keloid excision on oroplasty, preauricular sinus repair. Then we come to the most important surgical part, that is the tympanoplasty, which is concerned with the ear surgery. Because this topic was limited to the ear, I have tried to be very specific to see that it is limited to the ear surgeries. So tympanoplasty has been explained by the modern people. There are no references of tympanoplasty in our granthas, because it has been explained as a Sukshma Indriya. Being a Sukshma Indriya, the anatomical concepts of a tympanic membrane or the mastoid, they were not very clear. There were some references saying that if you do not treat Karanastrav or Puti Karana, the patient will land up in all intracranial complications. But the anatomical correlations were not explained. So these are the few examples where we can get a few historical background. The first surgery which was explained as far as tympanoplasty is regarded is in the 17th century. And now till the 21st century, the procedures have been, very highly advanced. What are the basic concepts which have to be taken into mind when you are operating a patient for tympanoplasty? Whenever you are operating for a tympanoplasty, see that your aims and objectives are very clear. A detailed information about the procedure has to be given before the surgery. The patient should not be kept in dark as what is going to happen or what surgery is going to take place on him, because that is a very important part of a surgical procedure. Whenever we are operating a tympanoplasty, there are very fixed concepts in the patient's mind that after I get operated, I'm going to get the hearing capacity as normal. So we have to be very clear to the patient that if you are operating a tympanoplasty or a mastodectomy, the hearing capacity will not be as good as normal. You can give an improvement to round about 90% of hearing. 10% is in the nature's hand, which no surgeon can give it. So let it be very clear to the patient that you're operating the ear to keep it safe, and you will be trying to help to improve the hearing capacity of the patient. So never give 100% assurance that after surgery you will be hearing 100%, you'll get 100% hearing improvement. Consents from the patient and the relatives nowadays has become very important. Nowadays a video consent is also taken so that the patient does not throw any medical legal issues on the surgeons. Keep all the possible complications in your mind, explain them to the patient, because if a patient after tympanoplasty lands up in a facial palsy, the patient's emotional status totally goes down. I have seen patients, young females who have been operated for tympanoplasty. After opening the ear, the facial nerve is open or the canal is dehiscent and there is a handling of the facial nerve. the patient gets a facial palsy. So you have to be very clear. Maybe you will not give a palsy, but see that it is written, taken from the patient, that she has been explained, he or she has been explained that there are many chances of the facial getting injured. Nobody does it um, on any a wrong intention. Any surgeon will not cut the facial nerve, but if it has to be removed, if there is a lot of granulation tissue, there is a lot of handling of the facial nerve. So be very very clear to the patient that if there is a facial trauma, we have to face it in a different way. All possible complication should be explained to the patient. Nowadays, it is becoming a mandatory that the patient will ask, how do I know what is going to happen on my ear? Do you have any similar surgical clips so that I know what is going to happen? So nowadays, patients also ask for surgical clips, and it is our duty to show them what we are going to do on them. What could be the prerequisites for the surgery? The most important thing is patient has to get investigated. Without the investigations, patient should not be operated, and at the same time, the investigations have to be within normal limits. A fitness from the physician and the anesthetist is a default thing which has to be taken. The physician and the anesthetist has the full right to refuse a fitness because they think that the patient may land up in some complications. So you have to respect the physician and the anesthetist. If the anesthetist and the physician asks you to get some more investigations done, it should be done. A re-fitness should be taken, and then the patient should be taken for surgery, because if the patient lands up in a problem, the anesthetist and the physician will be very, very firm on not helping you for not listening or not respecting their views. Another important thing which is very, very important for tympanoplasty is the audiological evaluation. Unless you have an audiogram of the patient, do not operate, because the patient may have a sensory neural loss before the surgery which has not been tested, and the patient will then take you in the legal court saying that I have the loss after the surgical procedure. So an audiological evaluation, a radiological evaluation is very, very important. If the patient is being operated on a local xylocaine or a local anesthesia, then a local lignocaine sensitivity test is also very, very necessary. It has to be given, the time has to be written, the day has to be written, it has to be marked by a circular pen, and it has to be mentioned on the paper also that patient is not allergic to a local lignocaine reaction. Prerequisites for the surgeon and the staff. It is very, very necessary for the surgeon and the staff to be totally prepared for the surgery. Again, the surgeon has to have a very clear idea about what he is going to operate, the instruments, the sterilization, the assistants, and all the equipments have to be very, very up to date. There should be a checklist, and the checklist should be checked up, and then the surgical procedure should be started. Without doing the checklist, you should not go for any surgery. If the surgeon feels that there can be some unexpected complications, see that he has some senior opinion in his mind. See that he talks with some senior persons and tells them, sir, I'm going to operate one person, but if I have any problem, could you please come and help me out? See that there is someone at your help, because once there is a complication, it becomes difficult for a single person to manage. Hello, ऐकू तरी येतं का?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
I don't know why it has stopped.
Mike,
No,
we can
the
hear you.
presentation has stopped. I don't know why.
We can restart, madam.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yogesh, presentation कुठे गेली?
Restart in the same way, madam.
Yes, madam.
Hmm.
Is it there visible?
Not visible.
नाही होते बाळा. इथे हे तुला?
So
Has it come, madam?
it has come. It has come. You can go to
Okay.
it.
I'm so sorry for all this trouble. Is it? Madam, I'm really sorry because I really had not expected all this.
No, it's okay, madam. Online
I
presentation.
wish all the videos really start because they are very nice videos which I would really like all the PG students to see.
Acha.
Anyway,
They are not starting.
I hope, I don't know.
Last week.
Surgeons,
Hmm.
I really hope they start. I'll try my level best. Let's see if they start. All the surgeons have to be very, very aware of the medico legal aspects. I'm very happy to share that our association is having a very strong legal committee, and Dr. Pawar sir is one of the senior most members who helps us out with all the legal aspects. So we have to be very, very aware and very clear about the medico legal problems, because if we have a permission, I know there are some states who do not have a permission, but the states which have a permission should be very aware of the medico legal aspects, because there are many people who would want to fix up in some complications and stop giving us a permission to do surgeries. So always be up to date with the medico legal aspects. You have to have a very, very strong documentation. I would request all the students to kindly do a video recording of all the cases they do, because when I started learning these surgical procedures with my teacher, when my teacher used to go away from the operation theater, I used to again restart all the surgical procedures, and I used to see the video recording of that procedure, and I used to learn little steps of how this instrument was held, how this procedure was done. So please kindly keep a video recording of all your procedures. A very, very important message for all the students especially is the most important piece in our surgical procedures. You have to be perfect in each and every case. You cannot afford to make a mistake and say it was by mistake, because you're playing with the life of the patient, you're playing with the confidence of the patient. You have to be very, very perfect in your paperwork. Whenever you are doing any surgical procedure, you have to be very, very patient. Your patience counts a lot whenever there is an emergency situation, because it is an uninvited guest. If there is any mishap, your presence of mind is going to help you out, because if you do not have a presence of mind, you're going to land up in a very big complication. So all of us have to be very, very alert. All of us have to do a lot of meditation, a lot of calming exercises, so that the presence of mind is there during surgical procedures. You have to be mentally, physically, and financially prepared for the surgical procedure. Physically, in the sense, if you are ill and if you are having Parkinsonism, you should not go for all the minute or the surgeries where you need a lot of steady hand. So if you are physically unfit, I would advise not to go for any major surgeries. Financial, in the sense, if you any problem in the surgical procedure, nowadays the amount of financial burden the surgeons face because of the medical legal issues is a thing which is very, 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 very difficult for us to face. So we have to be very, very financially sound. We have to insure ourselves and be prepared if at all there is any loss or any medical legal case against us. We have to be very, very punctual. If the patient has been told that he will be operated at 10 o'clock, and you take the patient at 1 o'clock in the operation theater, it is going to give a very bad impression about the whole hospital, the whole surgery department, and everything. So be try to be very very punctual, because that will show how particular you are in your surgical procedures. And be very very patient while handling any emergency procedures. Always, whenever you are operating any patient, see that you have all the complications in your mind. I always, whenever I go for a tympanoplasty in the morning, I always think that these could be the complications which maybe I will have to face today, because it is an uninvited guest. So you have to be very very careful and aware of what all complications can come and how you are going to manage them. If they are surgical mistakes, if they are due to instrumentations, there is no um excuse which you can give to the patient. So be very careful and be very prepared for anything which is going to be bad or a bad luck. And if you feel that for no reason I faced all these complications today, it is just your bad luck and it is not your day today. So always pray to God before going for any surgery that you should not land up in any complication. Those who do surgeries face complications, those who do not do surgeries do not face complications. But that doesn't mean that we should not face complications. We should be prepared to face the complications. Whenever there is a complication, always follow this rule. You should know what to do rather than what not to do. Because when you start doing the wrong things, the whole complication picture is going to have a very, very ugly look. So always keep in mind, always keep your presence of mind, and you should always know what should be done and what should not be done. Experience and a steady mind. This is going to help you to reduce your complications, to improve your surgical skills, and to improve your confidence levels. I hope the surgical clips really work. I don't know. This is a tympanoplasty which I have gathered all these parts, and I would be really happy if the surgical clips go along. These are a few tips while you're giving a local anesthesia for a ear surgery. For any surgery, see that the needle is always facing upwards. See that you always push out the air from the needle and then give a prick. Unless you remove all the air from the needle, please do not give any local anesthesia to the patient. Whenever you are piercing the needle, the this direction should always be upwards, so that the local infiltration will go behind into the skin and you will get a good surgical plane. Madam, please let me know if the videos are opening.
Okay, madam. You have to open
Yes,
that
madam.
link. There it
Yes,
is open. That you have to open. Just click the slide, then it will show the video link open.
I have opened it. It's opening on my laptop, but it's not
It's
opening in
not
your.
opening, madam. Once again, you just click the slide.
Okay.
Here you will get that button, open button.
Yes.
Just click. It is not. Yeah,
Yeah.
now.
The
Yeah,
open button.
open. Here, just press down. Yeah, open.
It's not. It is opening on my laptop, madam.
Oh, it's not opening here.
Is it opening there?
No, it's not opening.
I'll try to send the videos if possible for, because they are all the surgical steps which we are doing in tympanoplasty. The first was of local infiltration. Then was how
I
you
think
take an
I think
incision.
You
How
can
you
try
take.
we
once
need
more,
to bring
madam.
the presentation. Hello,
Hello, sir.
hello. We need to bring the presentation on. Can you take that presentation on slideshow?
Yes, sir. But slideshow then I.
Slideshow. If you take the presentation on slideshow, yeah, right. It's a big slide. Now I think it will open.
Okay, I'll try.
Here you can open. Just press it, madam.
पुढची चालली. Madam, is it opening there?
No, no, it's not opening. It's not opening, madam.
I don't know what to do.
Just you can click once more, no?
And for you? Madam, I will try to mail these procedures, and if at all they open, I really don't know how to do this. Because here it is opening on my laptop.
I think you have to take it to your this thing, no? Video where you have stored. You can go there also and open.
Okay,
It's
I'll
not
try
possible.
that. I'll try that. Madam, are these opening? I have opened a video
No,
for
fine.
No?
No, no, it's not opening. No.
Okay. I'll mail you all the videos, madam, if possible.
Okay.
I'm sorry because I have a lot of surgical clips which I wanted to show. Anyway, this is a message for all the PG students. You have to read a lot of books. This is what is going to help you ahead, because an empty head will always make a big sound. A person who's full of books in his brains will always be a very, very mild and a very silent person. So keep on reading books, keep updating your knowledges, keep updating your workshops. If you go for hands-on training workshops, I think that will help you a lot, because this was the stage when I was doing my diploma. I was never sure that I would ever do any surgical procedure. And then I said, no, I will not be able to do it. I want to do it, but I don't know how to do it. Then slowly, slowly, you start lifting up your steps, learning all surgical procedures. You start making a lot of trials and errors. And then slowly you get your confidence, and then you know, yes, I can do it now. And later on, you say, yes, I have done it and I can go ahead. So, this is a very important slide for all the students. Please try this in your things and do not give up. Anyway, do not give up, provided you get a lot of practical knowledge. The Association of Shalaki is trying very, very hard to fight out with all the people who are trying to trouble us and trying to avoid us doing surgeries. But if we come together, unity, we are going to throw these people away. So please, a request to all the Shalakis, all the budding Shalakis also, we have to be united, because if we come together, we can even make the lion run away from the jungle. So we have to come together and be united. Surgery is a skill which has to be developed and it has to be nourished. It cannot come on its own. So you have to keep on trying. It is nobody's personal property, because it is our right, and because we have been taught, we should all be trying to do all this. Always keep in mind these things, that if things go in the right way, you will have a lot of success. But if there is a small mistake and something goes wrong, everything will go 180 degrees behind. So be very careful. You never know when that 180 degrees will come in your fate, because try to be very, very confident. Try to be very, very particular in all what you practice. One thing I would always like to tell the students: never be overconfident. Now, especially to my PG Shalakya students from Tuyok Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, sometimes they become overconfident because they get a lot of surgeries to be done. Always be very careful that one surgical procedure going wrong will teach you a very big lesson. So never be overconfident. Yes, be confident and always know your limitations. Whenever you are learning surgeries, always accept your mistakes. If you're holding the instrument in the wrong way, if there is a lot of surgical hemorrhage, always try to learn from those mistakes, because they are the things which will give you a long term memory, and they will try to teach you many things in your life. train, uh, request to all the senior Shalakis, especially that we have to train all the junior Shalakis, because if we do not train them, there is no one who's going to train them. So I request all the senior people to kindly share and train your students in whatever. If you are doing a totally Ayurvedic practice, see that we give all the knowledge we have. If we are doing a surgical practice, see that we give all the surgical practice to all the students, because opportunities will be coming. If you do not take those opportunities, you will be leaving behind all missed opportunities. So please, to all the PG students, all the budding Shalakis, take whatever opportunities you have, take whatever challenges come in your way. All the senior Shalakis will be there behind you for your help. But see that you go and make yourself very, very successful. The last slide which I always like is we are like the lotus. People called us Ayurvedic practitioners, and they try to compare with the modern practitioners and they say we are much more better. But I would always like to say that a lotus will always teach you where we reach is important, not where we come from. So I request all the budding Salakis to kindly update your knowledge, update your surgical skills, update your Kriya Kalpa skills, and see that you are perfect in whatever you do. Madam, I'll try to share a few surgical procedures, but I don't know what is the problem, why they are not opening in this presentation.
Acha. I don't know.
I'll try.
Seema, you can ask the IT people if they know anything in this regard.
Hey, nahi open होती. What was there in the presentation also, na madam? All these,
Mm-hmm.
it is opening on my laptop. I don't know why it is not opening there.
Okay.
If I click here,
Mm-hmm.
the presentation is opening. The surgical, I open this.
Mm. I think you can mail it and we can actually show it in
Because here I can see on the
the IT
laptop.
center, no? You can, okay. But here it's not opening.
It's not opening. Okay. I'm sorry for all this, but
Mm.
I would really be very happy if the students really start doing all these procedures. Nothing is difficult because these are all the difficult procedures which I had all recorded is a preauricular sinus which was being operated for the third time. The three surgeries have been done by modern ENT surgeons and all three had been failures. So it was a challenge for me to take these cases, and it was another challenge that it was a granddaughter of a very, very renowned Vaidyas from Maharashtra. So operating such patients, sometimes VIP patients, becomes very, very difficult. But still, if you practice, if you know your limitations, if you are confident in doing whatever you can, I think we can be more, no less than all what modern.
Hello? Ah,
Is there any way I can open the videos, madam? Pawar sir? सरांनी कसं शेअर केले व्हिडिओ नाही होते Madam, I'll try to mail all the procedures then. Hello?
Ma'am, you mail us. Okay, ma'am.
एक मिनट आप इसमें ही बोल दीजिए सर actually madam
हाँ
they
madam.
are saying the way how you are presenting no when that slide comes you
हाँ.
have to click on that desktop where you have stored and you have to click that video it will open
I
you may
tried
have
that.
kept you just click this presentation preparation of graft where have you stored this video just go there on the desktop and open it will open.
Okay. Okay, I'll try that.
Hmm.
Just नहीं. Madam, is this opening?
No, it's not
I have
opening.
opened Yogya Vidya of how to apply cycloraphatic acid.
अच्छा,
No, ma'am.
No.
not opening.
I opened.
प्रवीण जी आप एक बार यहीं से बता दीजिए मैडम को, इसी में बता दीजिए. सीमा, प्रवीण जी से बात करा दो, इसी में बता देंगे वो.
हाँ जी मैम.
हाँ, इसमें सर मैडम को बता दो कैसे करना है.
Yes, ma'am.
मैडम जैसे अपन जब आप प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं और शेयर कर रहे हैं और जब आप वीडियो ओपन करते हैं ना, तो वीडियो वाली जो स्क्रीन है वो आप ऊपर रखें. फिर बाद में शेयर करने के बाद में वीडियो ओपन करें और उसको ऊपर रखें, उसको खोल दें, मतलब स्क्रीन पे डेस्कटॉप पे वो शेयर हो जाएगा.
नहीं है पहले. अच्छा मैं ट्राई करती हूँ.
पहले आप वो करें, प्रेजेंटेशन करें, शेयर कर दें उसको और उसके बाद में वो वीडियो ओपन कर दें, वो स्क्रीन पे रहे, तो जो भी स्क्रीन पे चल रहा होगा वो शेयर हो जाएगा.
नहीं था. मैडम मैं एक बार और ज्वाइन करके देखो. Present now.
Yes, ma'am, you can try.
Okay. Share. हे होतंय का ओपन?
शेअर करेल ना टॅबमध्ये. प्रेझेंट मला इकडे जॉईन नाव तिथे present.
Madam, will you allow me to again present? Share नको. Try करू.
त्यांची परमिशन त्यांनी परमिट केलं पाहिजे. टॅब पण होऊ शकते मॅडम. त्या टॅब मधून होऊ शकते. टॅब फॉर व्हिडिओ म्हटलं आपण विंडोज मधून करत होतो ना.
कुठे?
आता ज्या टॅब मधून
Madam, can you hear me? Madam, can you hear me?
Yes, madam, tell me what you were saying.
Madam, I'm presenting and it is asking me permission now. This will let you take over from update Shalakya Tantra as the main presenter. Present now.
हाँ, present now you can click.
Your entire screen. त्याच्यात मी घेऊ का?
Oh. I think you have to rejoin the meeting.
हे आलं. आता विंडोज ओपन कर. आता विंडोज मीडिया.
प्ले करू.
Yes, I will. You have been done it. मग ती स्क्रीन दाखवते कशी? हॅलो द स्क्रीन. मीटिंग मध्ये रिमूव्ह झाले असं दाखवलं. हे दाखवते. अच्छा लागलं. हाँ होती है स्क्रीन शेयर होती है पूर्ण होती है बढ़िया तो विंडोज में ओपन करें विंडोज मीडिया
Meanwhile, there is one question to Power Sir. Our director sir was asking yesterday that how we can start our Shalakya OPD, sir, like during this COVID. Like, due to COVID, our OPD is not yet started. So our director sir yesterday he was asking how we can, what are the steps we can take in order to start our OPD, and also we get protection from COVID patients also. So what is your suggestion, sir?
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are audible, sir.
Hello.
Yes, yes, sir,
Yeah.
you are audible.
Yes. Yesterday only I wanted to suggest that we can definitely start the OPD and the indoor also. And regarding that, central government has sent one protocol how you can start the OPD. What are the precautions to be taken? The primary measures for each and every patient, our staff, and the patient. The patient education is very important, and you have to train each and every patient. Maybe together you can, if at all the OPD is more, then you can gather the patient as per the protocol and train them as far as uh, the precautions are concerned. Then again, the instrumentation which we are using for OPD purposes, the disinfection of those all instruments, it is required after examining each and every patient. That is sanitization of the chin rest of the slit lamp, headrest, then maybe auto reflectometer if somebody is using, and the seat which where the patient is sitting during the examination. All those to be uh, sanitized with the help of 5% hypochlor that is uh, readily available. As far as the indoor is concerned, definitely there is a restriction for holding an ICAM, surgical ICAM, and the restrictions are still there till March, till January 2021. And as far as a small number of surgeries are concerned, you can definitely plan surgeries after COVID test. The COVID test is to be done just a day before, a day or 2 days before, and other can be recently. There is no I think various research papers and the presentations those have come up with come from Madurai Arvind Dayanendra Eye Research Center, that even phaco surgery that doesn't create any aerosol during surgery. Cataract surgery with the help of phaco, no other person in the OT got infected, and they carried out this in almost 16 patients, and I think it is quite encouraging. But definitely we need to take precautions as far as mask is concerned. N95 mask is must, along with other surgical masks, which is to be put on that N95. The face shield during examination of the patient. There are certain shields; those have now these pharmaceutical companies or the surgical companies they are supplying to fit we are using during surgery. Certainly, there is one small innovation that came up to apply for the surgical microscope also. If it is attached to the eyepiece, not eyepiece, the objective of the microscope, and that readily covers the patient's eye, and the whatever the small amount of the fear of generation of aerosol, that is also taken care of. So there is no transmission of any infection during these surgeries. So definitely we can start these surgical procedures, and on all the hospitals which are there in various cities, and that's why the government was also not very keen to start the other surgeries. And now the load has started. That's why they now have started allowing the other surgeries also. I can see all by mail. Is it okay, madam?
Cataract also they are doing, sir. Cataract surgeries now. SICS.
Yes, yes, right.
Mm, okay. I think COVID
In our
testing.
private setup, we are doing all types of surgeries. COVID test is essential if you are carrying out many number of cases. And after each surgery, you have to sanitize the operation theater with the help of sodium hypochlorite.
Sangeeta madam, are you there online? Hello. Okay, madam, you can send those slides on this thing, WhatsApp, so we can circulate among the in the group. Hello. I think madam's video is not showing. Okay, Shravani, we can go for the next this thing. Seema.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can go forward because madam, I think she's not there
Is there
also.
your permission? We would like to pose one question.
Hello.
One question by
Hello, madam.
Ashish Singh.
Bol,
Although
boliye,
there are
madam.
more evidence of surgery in Ayurveda, but why Ayurvedic surgeons are banned to operate in practice or allowed a limited surgery? Please define, sir.
Uh, am I audible again? Can you hear me?
Please, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
We can hear you, sir. Carry on.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
हेलो
Yeah.
श्रावणी वो मैडम को
Yes.
अंदर
Okay. Right. Actually, there is no ban for
ज्वाइन
surgery.
कर रहे हैं डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए हैं ठीक है ओके
Is it audible?
ओके नहीं आ रहे हैं करके बोल रही हैं
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
नहीं
Yeah. Actually, there is no ban on any person in Ayurveda to perform the surgeries, and the law clearly suggests that you can perform the surgeries as per the knowledge you have received in your institute, or as per the knowledge practical knowledge. That's the main criteria. In many of the institutes, the surgical procedure is not carried out, and for those students, definitely we cannot give them the hands-on course or whatever the things are required. As Sangeeta madam rightly suggested, the Yogya, it's very difficult for those students to carry the surgical procedure, and legally also they may not stand thereafter. But I think where this surgical procedure is allowed, or the use of allopathic drugs and other methods are allowed in certain states, there definitely I think the departments
नहीं ज्वाइन हो रहा है क्या?
they can
अपडेट
definitely
शलाक्य से
become
ज्वाइन
very
कर रहे हैं
equipped
ना?
with all these modern gadgets and
वीडियो कॉल नहीं, ऐसा तो नहीं। आप लिंक प्रेस करिए। ओके, ऐसा कैसा? Any other question, Shravan, Seema?
No,
yes.
ma'am.
Any other question?
So disciple,
हेलो, वो ज्वाइन नहीं हो रहा है करके बोल रहे हैं मैडम, देखो एक बार।
No, ma'am.
Okay, Seema, any other question is there? We can ask.
hello, am I
Yes, sir.
am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah, I was just answering. Yeah, there was one question put for me regarding uh, whether the Ayurvedic people are why they are banned from surgeries, performing surgeries. So I already answered that. And if at all in few states where the surgical procedure or the use of allopathic drugs that is not allowed by the that state council, definitely on if you can approach the association of Shalaki, we can definitely guide all those centers which are where this allopathic use and surgical is prevented. Definitely we can guide them how to go ahead and how to seek the permission from the state council, and definitely it is allowed by the central council. So there should not be any doubt that how we can perform the surgeries. Definitely we can perform the surgeries up to the extent the knowledge we have received in our institute. That's all.
Any other questions, Seema?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Okay, then we can move on to the next this thing. I think just put the next slide of the program. Seema?
Thank you so much, sir. We feel blessed by your speech. Now we come to the end of today's webinar. We have gained sufficient knowledge and derived inputs in practical approach in various eye disorders, cranial procedures, ear surgeries, and corneal grafting. I hope all our participants have benefited from this webinar, and in future also we would like to invite our guest speakers for updating our knowledge. I thank our guest speakers for sparing their valuable time and providing knowledgeable feast. I thank all participants for listening to these lectures and taking active share in this 2 days webinar and making this webinar very successful. Now, I request Professor Samsa Fiaz ma'am, HOD of PG Department of Shalakya Tantra, NIA Jaipur, for her concluding remarks. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Seema. So we are coming to the end of the national webinar, which was based on the theme practical approach in Shalakya disorders. So really we have gained so much knowledge and also updated and have gained many inputs in order to enhance our practical approach. So yesterday we had a very good knowledgeable lectures from eminent speakers. That is, first one was by Professor Shanta Kumari, Madam, and it was on the practical utility in Netra Kriya Kalpas. And Madam has used her experience and she has shared all the aspects of Kriya Kalpa, how we can practice based on the anatomical parameters and understanding about the disease, then the doshic involvement, as well as based on the pathological considerations. So that's why Kriya Kalpa, it is very easy to practice, and of course it has to be practiced by each and every one of us, because it is the panchakarma of Shalakya Tantra. So that is why I would like to request all the students, PG, PhD, and other faculty and members and practitioners to give importance to Kriya Kalpa, because that is the way how we can treat disease along with the systemic approach. So these are very important for us in order to treat the patient effectively, and also we can just boost our science, because where there is lacuna in modern science, definitely Ayurveda can provide a very ideal approach and effective approach in the treatment of most of the diseases, because that is the need of the hour, because we have so many diseases in especially the retinal conditions, like NPDR, etc., and macular edema. So here if we start the Ayurvedic treatment right from the beginning, definitely we can get very good results, and we can maintain our vision. So because our acharyas have always enhanced on the prevention aspects, and prevention aspects are well explained in Ayurvedic literature, and that's how we can prevent the disease. And if the disease has already manifested, then we can go for the curative principles which they have highlighted. And the ideal treatment is to start at a early stage. That is why we can get more efficacy in the treatment. And our next speaker was Professor Ventesh sir, and he has given his valuable information, and he has shared his experiences regarding the practice of eye diseases, most of the eye diseases, and how we can make simple yogas from many of the diseases which are easily, I mean, many of the drugs which are easily available, and we can. And he has showed his success stories in most of the conditions. Definitely that is an eye opener for all of us, because we can try to start being motivated, and we can definitely put all these procedures into practice, and also we can implement these yogas which are very simple and very ideal, and it can be done by all of us. And today's session was by Dr. Rajesh Pawar sir and Professor Sangeeta Salvi madam. So I know that each, because it is an online platform, we will face many problems, because this is very new to us. And of course we can also overcome this in coming days, because this is we don't know how many days this corona will last, and maybe we have to follow this method of teaching. And definitely what I say is corona has definitely made the platform of teaching very wide, because we can participate from any corner of the world, and thereby we can show our involvement, and we can derive the knowledge. And of course it is very important for upgrading our knowledge if we have to be skilled clinicians. So today's topic on corneal grafting was very interesting, and sir has detailed about the indications and contraindications of corneal grafting, and how we can consider eye bank as an important tool and asset in order to donate our corneas for those who are visually blind. And of course sir has also highlighted about the different techniques of grafting. And due to some problem, I think the one or two videos have not opened, but it is a very informative session, sir. So in future also we would like to invite you for other conferences. And our next speaker, Professor Salvi madam, she has given a surgical approach in eye disorders, and she has started her lecture with different historical review and the importance of upgrading our knowledge, and also we have to integrate and we have to see how our ancient acharyas have described those instruments which are now also we are using those instruments, but there is very less difference, and we need to upgrade our knowledge, and we have to try to find how our acharyas have dedicated their work, and now also it is useful to the society. And definitely cataract also was performed even those times, and now also we are doing, but there is only little difference because of the increased infrastructure and the sophisticated instruments what we have. But that time also their aim was to give vision to the patient, and now also we are doing the same thing. So the aim is same, but the technology has improved, that's it. And definitely we can plan the different surgeries, because you know Shishruta, he was one of the best plastic surgeons in those times, and the plastics concept of plastic surgery has come with the Shishruta's views, and he's the, of course, father of plastic surgery. So in that way our acharya has have contributed to the science, and it is our duty to bring those that knowledge and to expose it, and also and we can improve that and bring it to the world. So that is how we have had a very nice session, and of course all our participants must have been benefited, and I would like to thank everyone for being present to this 2 days webinar. Thank you one and all.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, madam.
Now,
Thanks a lot.
I would like to request our respected Dr. Gulab Kamnani sir for vote of thanks. Over to you, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Thank you, Seema. So, good afternoon, all. On behalf of PG Department of Shalakya Tantra, NIA deemed to be University, Jaipur, I take this opportunity to provide the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to express my respect and gratitude to our beloved director, Professor Sanjeev Sharma, sir, for his enthusiastic support. Sir, under your dynamic leadership, we are always motivated and inspired to do the best. Thank you very much, sir, for providing us such an excellent platform to conduct this webinar. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our heartfelt thanks to Professor Shanta Kumari ma'am, CEO of Mata Ayurvedic Hospital, Trivandrum, for sharing wonderful ideas and knowledge with us. I think she is the Ma of Shalakya, so we can call Shanta Mahar. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your blessings and your lecture. I am very much thankful to Professor B.A. Venkatesh sir, HOD Kal Bhaireshwar College, Bengaluru, for sharing his vague experience and knowledge with us. I would like to pay my sincere thanks to Dr. Rajesh Pawar sir, founder and director of NIMI Eye Care Treatment and Research in Ayurveda, for your expert words regarding various surgical techniques. I am very much thankful to Professor Sangeeta Salve ma'am, head of the department Shalakya Tantra, Tilak Ayurvedic College, Pune, for sharing vast knowledge and ENT surgical procedures. I would like to thank Professor Shamsa Fiaz ma'am, head of the department, PG Department of Shalakya Tantra, NIA Jaipur, and the organizing secretary of this webinar, for overwhelming motivation and support on each and every aspect for successful conduction of this webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am. I also extend my sincere thanks to organizing committee members, Dr. Aparna Sharma, Dr. Prabhakar Vardhan, Dr. Rajendra Kumar Soni, for their unconditional support and time. I would also like to thank Professor Gunjan ma'am, Dr. Rajshri ma'am, Dr. Krishna ma'am Makadia, Dr. Shailendra ji from Pilibhit, for joining and grace this event. My special thanks to IT team of NIA, especially Dr. Sudip Rath, Mr. Praveen, Mr. Ravi and Sanjay, for monitoring this webinar successfully. I am also thankful to Dr. Shravani, Dr. Anita, Dr. Seema Yadav, Dr. Gulshan for their positive contribution to make this event successful. I am also thankful to all PhD scholars, PG scholars, UG students who are directly or indirectly connected with this event and for whom this program had been organized. I also want to thank our office staff, and last but not the least, I would like to express my gratitude and thanks to all the active participants from all over India and abroad who have joined this webinar through YouTube and Facebook and made this webinar successful. And last, thanks one and all. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you one and all
Shaksha ma'am, Gulab
for this
and
today's
eminent
webinar.
speakers. It was very good webinar.
Okay.
Dr. Rajshri, कुछ कह रहे हैं?
Before we end this.
Thank you, Samsha ma'am, NIA team, Gulab, and all eminent speakers. It was very good webinar, informative and very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam, for participating in this webinar. And one or two people have been left out. I would like to also thank the SS graphic people for making this brochures, and also one of my student, Dr. Palika, she has made the program schedule. You can see it is so beautiful. She has, though she is not here in India, but she has done most of the work, and also she has registered all the participants. I would like to thank her also, and I would like to thank all our PG scholars and PhD scholars for making, and all our staff members for making this webinar a great success. Thank you one and all. Thank you. So we will close this program.
Okay, thank you one and all,
Thank you
and
so
bye.
much.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.